Peace and love, family. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and in good spirits. Welcome to Clara's Revival. I am Latasha, your certified self-revival and master spirit coach. So today's conversation comes from just conversations that I've been hearing surrounding this movie, Straw by Tyler Perry. First of all, I haven't watched it. I don't care for Tyler Perry's movies. However, I end up watching a lot of them anyway. So I don't feel like now is a good time for me to watch this movie. However, I do want to discuss anger and what anger looks like. I know it's different from what the movie was talking about. From what I hear, the movie is talking more about psychosis, but today I'm going to break down anger. And anger is one of those suppressed emotions that, if not dealt with, can turn into mental breakdowns and psychosis. So let's talk about anger, what it looks like, how you can notice it erupting in your life, in your body. I want to talk about a common myth about anger. And last not least, I definitely want to give you some solutions on how to deal with anger. And as a survivor of any type of abuse, physical, emotional, sexual, narcissistic abuse, if you grew up with a narcissistic parents or two narcissistic parents, anger is something that is a part of the healing journey. And when we're talking about healing, it's very important for us to know that healing is a day by day process. Healing looks different for each and every one of us. All of us have our personalities, cultural differences, our own experience that contributes to what we need, contributes to our way of providing therapy for ourselves. And it looks different for everyone. So no one shoe fits all. It's not helpful to compare yourself, to compare your trauma to anyone else's trauma, because if it offended you, if it made you feel any type of way, if it shaped the way that you view yourself in life, that is trauma. So no matter how you want to quantify your trauma, just know that what you feel is valid. A lot of times in our healing journey, anger comes years after the abuse has happened. And that confuses a lot of people, and it makes you think that you are not healing. And you think to yourself, well, why after all this time, why am I so angry now? And the exact opposite is occurring. You are healing. You are processing what has happened. You are growing. Therefore, you are seeing what makes you upset. You should be able to create new boundaries from the anger that you're feeling. Anger is a key emotion that lets you know that you are processing, that you were wrong, that it made you feel offended, that it wasn't your fault. Anger is often a result of other underlying emotions like betrayal, shame, feeling ashamed of yourself, grief, the loss of whatever it is that you lost, whether it was your innocence, whether it was a marriage. You're grieving the loss of something that you believed in, that you had hope in. So all of that anger comes from that. And it's very important that you notice what anger looks like in your body. When you start to feel those triggers, what makes you angry? Was something said that makes you angry? Was it a movie or something that you heard, a song that you heard that triggered you and put you back in that place? It's very important to be able to know what your triggers are, how your body responds. Do you get tense? For me, when I get angry, I tend to have racing thoughts, start overthinking, and I clench my mouth. My jaw gets real tense. And before you know it, I'm erupting if I allow myself to keep going and to get there. The key is to let it out. A lot of people like to suppress anger because you think that it's wrong. You don't want to feel that type of way. Sometimes you might feel wanting to get revenge towards a certain person. It's very important to let yourself have these thoughts. You are human. It doesn't mean that you are going to act on these thoughts. They are just that, thoughts. You get to control what you do. You get to control the outcome. You get to control yourself. It's very important for women to get in touch with what makes us angry, what our triggers are, what it looks like, so that we don't continue to harm ourselves. As women, we are more inclined to inflict harm on ourselves when we are angry. And some of us may even have these intrusive thoughts of hurting, harming yourself, of having this urge to want to punch yourself or punch something. Please know that anger is a normal emotion, and whatever happened to you in your life, it wasn't fair, and you ought to be angry about it. That is normal. There is nothing wrong with you feeling that anger. But just know that if anger is not processed, released, or transmuted into something positive, it will eat you alive. It turns into addiction. It turns into extreme weight loss or weight gain. It turns to an overload of cortisol. It turns into stiffened joints, arthritis, and autoimmune disease. I am a person who believes, and research back this up, whatever emotions that you are holding on to, whatever you think that you are suppressing, your body, your skin, your organs are all working off the vibration of your energy, off your emotions, off of what you're telling yourself, off of what you're feeding yourself. Failure to deal with anger leads to an unhealthy, miserable, disease-stricken, limited thinking life. And you deserve more than that. So just to recap everything that I've said so far, anger is a valid, normal emotion. You have the right to feel whatever it is that you feel. You must allow yourself to do so. Also remember that healing is a day-by-day process. A lot of people think that when you're healing, it's just this smooth, easy road. Yeah, I'm just going to get there. I'm just going to heal and everything going to be, Healing looks like this. You have ups, you have downs, you crash, and then you get back up. And that's okay. Do not beat yourself up. Do not think that you're not healing because you may seem to be regressing back to old emotions, having old thoughts. That's normal. It's what you do after. It's how you process. It's how you deal. And that's what we're going to get into next. So when you feel yourself getting angry, when you might feel your temperature rise and you might start sweating on the top of your lip or on your forehead, your face may become frowned up, you're getting lost in thought, you have to have a positive way to release. And I'm going to give a couple of examples. Everything may not work for everyone. And I'm going to give some unconventional methods as a person who I have extreme anger issues. I ain't even going to lie. Now, I'm completely different from what I used to be. I am a person who is able to control myself in most situations and circumstances. However, there are certain things, there are certain triggers that if said, that if done, I will go from 0 to 100 real fast. So I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this anger. So don't judge me when I get into telling my story and giving some of my suggestions. What works for me works for me. You can journal. You can write down your emotions if you're feeling angry. A lot of times this anger comes from a recurring issue. Maybe there's a parent that you're angry at, that you still have some blame and resentments towards. Maybe they did you wrong in some type of way. Maybe you're replaying events of your divorce over and over. You were married for a long time and it's hard for you to pick up the pieces and you're angry about what that person did to you. Maybe write that person a letter. Write them a letter. And as a spiritualist, you can do this or not. I'm just giving examples. I like to write that person a letter, turn it into a whole release ritual, so that you can feel it and see it visually getting off of you, so that you can begin to process other things in your life. Write a letter to that person. Burn it. And as you burn it, say a prayer of release. God, I release the anger of this failed marriage. I release the expectation. I release the resentment. I'm looking forward in my life. Burn it. Let the atmosphere grasp on to that wish and to that prayer and let it manifest. You will feel so much lighter after one, writing it down, getting it out, and physically doing something to release it. Whether it's ripping up the letter if you don't feel like burning it, rip it up with all that anger inside of you. Take a deep breath in, out, and release. Whatever works for you, you have to let your personality, your spirit, how you connect with God lead you in this. Remember, I'm just giving examples. examples that are based in psychology. I'm not just blowing smoke up y'all's behinds. I've lived this, I've researched this, and anger is a problem that women we need to deal with because it's ruining a lot of our qualities of lives. It is keeping us stuck, stagnant, repeating the same cycles. Look, you can dance if you start feeling that anger. Maybe just consciously decide to switch the mood. Turn on some positive music, whatever that is, whatever you like. Get yourself amped, start dancing. Or even if you need to listen to some aggressive music, some angry music, find yourself a safe space inside your home, safe space to release, have that movement, to do what you need to do, to release that energy and get that stagnant emotion out of your body. Movement of any type, whether it's exercise, whether it's dancing, is definitely going to help you release suppressed emotions, release stagnant energy, produce more of those feel-good endorphins, and help with that overload of cortisol that comes from that anger. Because when you start to feel that anger, if you start to dive into that overthinking, before you know it, you're in a season of depression. We got to get control of it. And this is what I do. I'm a person to where I get in I like to call them bitch fits. When I have my bitch fits, I might have my bitch fit around when it's that time of the month. Maybe someone did or said something to me. As a person who is recovering from narcissistic abuse, if anyone tries to manipulate and play me in any type of way, that really angers me. So there's times where I got to let loose. I have my bitch fits. I got my safe space. I will attack my bed. I get on that pillow and
anybody can get it.
I'm tearing that pillow up. I have to release that anger. And it's better for me to release it in a safe space on an inanimate object than it is to hurt somebody else. Let it out and do so without judgment. I'm telling you, you have to release it. You have to release it. And I'm going to tell you a lot of times, after I release it, after I punch, after I scream, after I allow myself to do what I got to do at the end of it, I'm praying, I'm crying, I'm thanking God for helping me through this situation. I'm thanking God for giving me the strength and the courage to keep going. I'm thanking God for guiding me and delivering me from certain behaviors. There's power in taking control and taking grasp of that anger and feeling it and recognizing it. We're so taught to be good all the time and be good to everybody that we don't know how to connect with that dark part of ourselves. And in the spirit world, there is that duality. And you have to know, in order to control that beast, you have to know how to get a grasp of it and recognize it for what it is. Another way that you can really take control of that anger, grasp it, is by transmuting the energy. I love using anger as a tool to transmute into positive energy. And nothing helps me do so more than someone who thinks that I'm defeated, someone who is doubting me, someone who thinks that I am incapable. I let that anger fuel me into proving to myself that I'm not what everyone said that I am. Not proven to everybody else, but proven to myself. Being led by the Most High, proving that I am more, that I am capable, and turning that into positive change in my life. One step, one day at a time. Please be gentle with yourself. I really hope that this video has helped you. If there's anything else that you would like for me to talk about, if there are any other emotions, struggles that you're having, please feel free to email me, mycoach@clarasrevival.com. You can book for coaching online, clarasrevival.com. All new clients get a free 45-minute session. You have nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain. Anger is necessary. Anger is necessary to pinpoint other emotions around that anger. What is making you angry? Who made you angry? What is the circumstance? What about it hurt you so? So that you can process it, understand it, and turn it into positive movement for yourself, family. I love you. I will talk to you soon. Please be blessed. Please keep your head up. Talk to you later.